And one more thing I would like to say, the recording for this class is being done, and accordingly the video part will be sent to the headquarters and they will provide you the record link, so that at any moment of time anybody wants to refer again, they can go and see it.
Thank you.
So
Right?
Verma sir, it will be only the video, or of course the audio of the facilitator, so that we can listen and have our notes referred.
I think all video, audio plus PowerPoint presentation, whatever comes in this, that is getting recorded and that will be displayed.
Great. I think that would be quite helpful. Thank you.
So we will start with the class for paper 2. And as you must be knowing, I think you are the fresh batch, and not much introductions have already, taken place regarding. You have 4 paper in this. Can I request people to switch on?
Sir, can I request you to mute everybody?
No, I understand if you can do it at your end itself, so that I don't want privilege for few basically should be curtailed. If
No, sir. Whosoever is interested, they can unmute and they can talk. That's not a problem.
right.
So if you mute everybody, they will have this privilege of unmuting whenever they want to speak and then mute it back. Otherwise, they are just leaving it like that. That causes a problem.
Okay, okay. Now a few more are joining, so I will just admit them. And then, are you able to see the slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can see it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I am Wing Commander K.K. Verma. I have worked in
क्या
Indian Air Force for 20
वो
years.
जो फर्स्ट ड्रॉअर है ना उस साइड वाला सबसे ऊपर का, उसमें रखा है टेप डिस्पेंसर.
Now I am muting all, right? And if anybody wants to speak, they should unmute themselves and speak, or raise hands and speak. Absolutely fine. So now basically I will be taking class on instructional design. It's a paper 2. If you see, the whole curriculum of ISTD for this PG program is like this. In the first session, you will be having 4 papers, and then in second 6 months, you will be having another 4 paper before you enter in the third semester, where you will have the 2 theoretical paper. One is elective and other is paper 9 is basically learning, training, analytics. So, and along with that, you will be doing the project part. So in the first semester, you have 4 different papers, and first paper 1 was, you see, madam took paper 1, and now I will be taking paper 2 is a instructional design, and then we have paper 3 is training methods cognitive, which will be taken by Mr. S.K. Gupta, and then we have paper 4 training methods experiential, which will be taken by Brigadier Dikshit at 4 o'clock. Absolutely fine. So we have around 41 participants. I will start with instructional design, and today's task has been divided into this form. First, we will cover the course curriculum, and then mainly we will talk about the training need analysis, from where basically this instructional design thing has emerged. If you see, initially it was training need analysis. That is the way we used to talk about. But as things have changed, we have found now we need to not only do analysis part and training part, but we need to do designing part. So that's why the course curriculum has been decided like this, where we have instructional design, where we include so many things. And if you see the course curriculum, I hope you have seen the course curriculum, and if you see the course curriculum, you will find this talks about the course will provide an overview of various design models and focus on processes, tools, methods, and procedures for initiating a training design project that include organizational analysis, job analysis, task and content analysis, talk about training needs and resource analysis, writing and sequencing of functional objectives and performance measures, specifying instructional strategies, assessing relevant characteristics of trainees such as learning orientation and motivation, and designing sessions, associated activities, and instructional course materials. So it's a very new kind of paper you have in this training and development. So that is what we will be discussing in this paper now. And we will be taking 6 classes, and last 7th class will be the course review. And in all 6 classes we will be covering from, first we will cover TNA, training need analysis, and then we will try to establish, in the 2nd class we will try to establish training need analysis with the training design. And in 3rd class exclusively I have kept it for training design. And then we will talk about the training objectives, development of training, and then transfer of learning, how that can be made feasible. And finally, we will go ahead with the course review before exam. And coming to, again we say, as we expect to finish this class by 20th of December, and then we might have exam by the end of December. And exam will be online exam as was conducted last time. Are you getting? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So training design, you can say it all started with the TNA. And before we start with the TNA, one more thing, you have the 2 books. I believe you all have received your 2 books.
Yes, sir.
Am I correct? This one
Yes,
and
sir.
this one. And yesterday I have already sent the email, whatever email I had for all the participants from Noida chapter, and that can be, I think, made available to anyone who writes their email here. What are the basically 6 classes we have, which will include different topic, and thus we will come to know which all the things we will cover in the which class, and that is the way it will go on, right? So if we talk about training design, you see what design has become very famous nowadays. because for everything we talk about the design. So in instructional design, can anybody say what do we understand by instructional design? Just to elaborate things before we move to TNA. Hello? Are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you just elaborate what you understand by instructional design per se before we go for the TNA?
Sir,
Any idea?
yeah, sir, it is using of learning and maybe some theories which are related to instruction theories to provide the instruction to the learner. Maybe one of the definitions of
Okay.
instructional design, and it's a systematic process.
Or
Okay.
we can say this is the
Any more?
blueprint. So we can say, sir, put it in another words, like this is the blueprint of the training. But how exactly we are going to deliver the training?
Okay. Why anybody can tell why this idea, like earlier we had training need analysis and all those things, why it has come the instructional design part? Any elaboration on this?
So that a training module can be make more specific. Like training is basically done for getting new abilities, skills, knowledge. So if we have a better structure, so that we can focus on getting the training successful. So the instructional design can help us in that.
Any further? Anybody has
So what I
some
believe
input?
that what I believe that the design has to be made according to the organizational goals. So in order to remove the
Yes.
gap, so that gap, the expectations which the organization has and what we want to deliver to the candidate, in order to match the expectations, we have to design. So for that, instructional design is very much needed.
Okay, that's fine. That's very good. Anybody
So
else has?
the as adult, we have our set learning methods. Some people are kinesthetic, some are auditory, some are visual. So understanding what kind of method of training will suit for the participants the best, and designing the whole program accordingly so that the maximum impact is felt and the trainers, the participants learn the maximum.
Absolutely correct. I think one or two point earlier also she told nicely about the organization, because if you see any organization, I mean most of the organizations have a different kind of resources, culture and capabilities. At the same time, even the participants are of different I mean capacity, knowledge. So based on this, what the resources you have in the organization and what kind of participants you want to train, basically in the present circumstances, when resources has to be integrated with the training need, so that has to be taken care of. And when we want to take care of those resources, like suppose, I mean, you have the mobile phone, you have the online classes on laptop and desktop. In this fashion, basically, when the resources have changed, infrastructures are different. So training need has to be basically designed, which suits the present requirements. You all must have heard about earlier, suppose software were written all about, suppose meeting the desktop requirements. Even the website, you all must have heard, websites were designed basically to meet the desktop requirements. Subsequently, in last 10 years, you all must have experienced this. Desktop thing has moved from basically the normal desktop to mobile thing. So mobile thing, when we talk about, it's a smartphone, we talk about mobile phone, what we talk about, their size are different, their capacities are different, the way we approach them or see them is different. So invariably, all these websites, what we developed earlier to meet the requirement for the computer and desktop and laptop, subsequently we had to change basically to meet the requirement for the mobile phone. Similarly, in the training also, when the organization want to impart the training, they have to see what kind of resources they have with the organization and what kind of resources they have with the participants. And then accordingly, training has to be designed. In the subsequent classes, when we go, we will see what are the objectives. Accordingly, we will set the objectives, how the transfer to be taken place, how we are going to design the training programs. All these things we need to take care through the resources what we have and how we can take it further. Am I making sense? Is it okay? Anybody has any question?
No, sir.
Okay. So now moving to training need analysis. Training need analysis. Training need analysis is done to find the kind of training that are needed, who needs them, where they are needed, and which method will best deliver needed skill, knowledge, and attitude to the worker. So mainly when we talk about the training, the three important parameters we want basically to impart. First is skill, knowledge, and attitude to the worker. And in training need analysis, that is what we need to do. And then we will decide who needs them, where they are needed, and which method will best deliver needed skill. Right? Now, training need analysis basically done in three different parts. First, organizational analysis. All these things basically being done to finalize the instructional design. So when we are doing analysis, we are doing first organizational analysis. In organizational analysis, we talk about the business environment strategies. And what are the business environment strategies are there? What we want to achieve, how much we want to increase the productivity, and how much business we want to see it growing. Then in organizational analysis comes the resources. As I talked earlier, depending upon the resources, we have to design instructional design. So we must know what are the resources which are available. And then it is very important to decide about the economic and public policies. Invariably, you all are doing the PG in training and development, postgraduate program in training and development. So I always emphasize to you all people, you all have experience, you are all working in a different organization at different level. You must have update knowledge about the economic and public policies, because based on that basically you move in the direction, even your organization move in that direction, and that is what we require to do. Then we do task analysis. In task analysis, we talk about the skill level, attitude, and then effective performance. It could be the skill. What are the skill the person possesses, or what are the necessary requirement for giving the training for in improving the skill. and then to do particular task or job, I mean, we need significant or very important the part from the human part, that is called attitude. I mean, we must take care how that attitude improves so that they can perform better in the situations of any emergency or any change in the output that he or she is able to manage. And then effective performance. Even if suppose somebody has a knowledge, you all must have heard about, when we talk about the skill level knowledge, it is all IQ is all about. But when the question of attitude comes, it is about the emotional quotient, which matters how you behave, how others behave for this. And then finally, when you have to deliver the output, what are the effective performance? So if you are capable of, along with IQ, you have the EQ also, emotional quotient, the performance will certainly improve. And that is what you need to ensure and take care. I hope you all have heard about IQ and EQ. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
absolutely. Emotional quotient and
Emotional quotient. Can anybody explain little bit how does it matter with the skill, attitude and effective performance? How the emotional quotient will affect this in your task? Just any input?
So motivational level is one of the emotional quotient. So for performing any task fully
Okay.
and doing at a very optimum level, the motivation should be there. So it is a kind of emotional quotient which in EQ we target on.
Okay. Anybody
So,
else?
recognition is also emotional quotient which everyone aspires for in an organization.
Right. Absolutely fine. But in
actually
emotional
general,
quotient, there is very important part of part is that. Can anybody?
yeah, definitely.
Sir,
Yeah,
One is,
there is a CAB model, CAB, that is cognitive, affective, and behavioral.
okay.
Cognitive is belief. It tends to it helps to create a feel, and then it comes in our behavior. So suppose if I am very much interested in my I believe that I will grow in this particular job, and I'm giving my 100%. That's the reason I'm giving my 100%. I'm loving my job, and then my behavior will also show that I will go for various innovation and techniques and additional activities.
Okay.
So that is how also it is. That is how it is connected.
Sir, or it can
Attitude.
be a basic example of life of a soldier, sir. Like, with all due respect, it could be a life of a soldier. Like, they are ready to, go for, like, ahead for their country, right? So somewhere they are very, very loyal, and somewhere they are very passionate about it. At the same time, they are away from their family. So I believe emotional quotient can be related to a life of a soldier, like the way they are living their life for their country.
No, one very correct about this. One talked about having a motivation. I mean, you are motivated enough to do things.
sir,
You
it's
try to understand yourself and remain motivated, and you try to even push yourself, motivate yourself. For emotional quotient, there is one very important part as you must understand your environment as well. In environment comes like which kind of environment you face in your organization, and then the kind of people you face. So you must try to understand that also, and that becomes the part of the great emotional potent habits. Yes.
sir, it's a general state of mind also, actually. General state of mind of the player.
General state of,
State of mind of the
yeah,
person.
absolutely fine.
Because
General state
awareness
of
is more
mind is
important.
very important. because based on that you will perform. And
Yeah.
if you are suppose motivated or inclined or passionate about doing things, you will be able to do it better. At the same
Sir,
time, you work as a managerial level, so you have to take the output from the people. You have to make sure the other people also in your team work. So understanding the behavior and weakness or strength of the people around you also makes sense, and it enhance your emotional quotient. Yes.
sir, should I? I'll put it in this way. Like an organization is not about an individual; it's about a team.
Correct.
So when we are working in a group, I should have control over my own emotions, which ultimately dictates my behavior towards others, and understanding others' emotions, so that I can get maximum output from that. So that, in a whole, makes emotional quotient.
Right.
If I may add, emotional EQ has two parts into it. One is self-awareness, and another is social awareness. The more I can regulate my own thoughts and self, and also understand the social environment or the organizational environment and relate to it. As a team player, I need to regulate myself also and relate better with the team also.
Correct.
So both are required.
Social environment also. That's absolutely fine. Then the third type of analysis for TNA comes the person analysis. Person analysis, we generally judge about the through performance appraisal data, and we take interview, critical incidents. We try to observe how the person behaves, and then we try to do the analysis for the training need, and that is the way we do it. This how many have you ever seen in critical incidents the person behave differently? Anybody has some input on this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Please tell which organization you are and how when you have done this critical incident analysis on a person for the training or something.
Yes, sir. This is a real life incident. I was working at that time in Delhi International Airport Private Limited.
Okay.
It is under GMR Group. So we had a very important incident going on where we had to roll out an offer for about 2,500 employees of Airport Authority
Okay.
to take them under dial. So the environment was totally different, and the time lag was very short. This offer had to be rolled out within a period of 48 hours.
Okay.
So it was a very critical incident for the life of the organization, and we were under tremendous pressure.
Right.
So, group of people working, they were behaving differently under the stress that they were undergoing. All of them were facing the similar situation, similar kind of stress, but everybody was behaving in a different. Somebody had absolutely broke down. Prima facie, they were looking very tough, very smart managers, but when they were put under critical such kind of pressure, they just broke down. But there were some people who were very easy to go around, and they were they were enjoying this kind of pressure, and they were thriving under such demanding situation also.
Right.
So these kind of analysis helps us understand the psyche of the people.
Okay, that's good. So it happens basically. So accordingly, we must prepare the individual for those facing those difficult situations, what we call it, critical incidents. And in that, if person behaves, so we must prepare in training. When we are talking about, we must prepare the person for that, facing those things. How can they face it better and still deliver the output to the company, right?
Can we correlate this to a crisis or something?
Naturally.
Yeah.
Crisis of company, basically that could be incident for senior manager or managers or CEOs, basically crisis of company. So at that time, how they behave, how they are still having the balance and take the team forward, still keep motivating the team. So those things depends. And then they should be, today we are talking about suppose technological thing. So how different technological perspective is basically viewed and propagated and implemented. So those things also matters in organization.
Thank you.
Right. So moving to what are the triggers for training? When we do training analysis, we must have the idea what are the triggers. And when we talk about the triggers, so many things you must be seeing, because things have changed, things are changing very fast. And in that situations, basically we need to impart training. The point what we have just noted it down here is anticipated demands for products or services. As things change, the demand for products and services varies. You must remember the pandemic when it started sometime in March and April. The demand automatically changed. Even the school boys or girls, I remember a lot of ISTD students, when I used to tell them we have to go online, we have to take training online, we have to computerize things. Because earlier in this ISTD course, we had e-learning topic, e-learning subjects. Paper 7 and 8 was e-learning. Now when the new syllabus has come, which you all are undergoing now, that e-learning part has been removed. Earlier I used to take class for e-learning things, and there I used to emphasize to the people, e-learning is so important. We all have to basically train ourselves to become more accustomed to how we can use computer, how we can impart training or accept training through online services. And then when we talk about the online thing, we can decide about the products and services. When we are in organization, what are the things we can provide. So in changing situations, we see automatically now I think a lot of people may not argue with me. We don't need online things to be done, because earlier the people used to say we have to have a class and classroom facilities and all those things. But today, after 6 months of pandemic and lockdown, and now we have the unlock 5, which is shortly going to take place, we are almost sure that things have changed, and we have to go for e-learning kind of activities. We have to go for online classes, and then we have to strengthen the resources. So if anybody, even in e-learning classes, I remember there 1 or 2 years back when I used to talk about the not more than 50% people will say they are using computer for the learning kind of things. Invariably they were not telling. But now I believe in this 6 months of pandemic, this must have changed. Similarly, you can say this has changed. This change has come from for individual. This change has come from organization like suppose ISTD or institution like ISTD. The same may come for organization as well. So most of the organization also, they decide, they change the product, they change the services to meet the demand, and then the requirement for the training comes. Right? At the same time, we have like planned to change the methods and technology, because once the method has changed, situations have changed, we need to change the method and we need to change the technology. Right? The view of the line manager and training department. And once, suppose you imagine a situation when the school going children who are now going online classes, attending classes online, even the teacher, government school teacher, they are imparting training through computer. and small children in 5th class, 6th class, they are attending class on mobile phone, and they are giving exams on mobile. So you can imagine a situations when they grow after suppose 5 years or 10 years, we are going to have a different kind of situations where suppose you become the manager or the head of the training department, the complete requirements you will forecast differently, and that is what will trigger to different set of training needs, and that is what we need to do. And then because of the changing situations, we have the profitability also, because at the same time business is all about making profits, helping people to grow and making profits. So in the changing situations, when the computer also came, basically it was accepted by the people just because it was very economical. So now when we think about situations, you will find the online thing, or what we talk about the work from home kind of thing. People find it is a very profitable thing. So many organizations have already announced, even in 2021, they will continue with the work from home thing. Because you see, work from home, when we talk about, people used to go, suppose, Noida to Gurgaon for the work. And when we talk about the work from home, they say they could do more work, and thus profitability increased. So work from home, the new concept which emerged suppose 6 months before, now is becoming the norms of the discussion and fashion for the organization, and they are all different organizations are trying to work on how can we maintain it. So the training need for all those people in the organization will basically multifold in the months to come or years to come. So if you all get training in different these areas and complete this course, I think your employability will certainly increase manifold, and it will increase because of the profitability. And as in the last class also madam talked about, it might look initially costly, but it may not be costly in the long run. And right, and then next point is local national labor market. And when we talk about this labor market, I'm not talking about the worker level or migrants who moved during this pandemic to village, but I tell you one very live example. The prime minister who we have today is going online since the time the pandemic has taken place or lockdown has taken place. You see, we have the prime minister who goes online almost on daily basis in different perspective, and he is making this online thing so famous and popular. Invariably, when the prime minister does it, down the line whoever the ministers are there, they are also going online and doing things. Even the election, this meeting also, they do it online, and they are making it differently. So it all becomes the market intensive demand basically for such kind of training. And unforeseen situations like loss of key employees, any situation comes, and then we urgently develop the need for the training. So that is those are the triggers. So we must, as a training and development, as a trainer, we must have this in our mind, that all these things, changing things, we must keep it in mind so that we can work for the training requirements better. Any doubt? Hello, Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
no doubt, sir. It's clear.
Okay. Regarding this online thing, if you see, are you impressed with the way, suppose even the government are going online and doing things online, even in defense, a lot of things which have taken place, they are going online and doing things. Even though they have said, as usual, in the country, like for the security reasons, the defense people will not be, should not be allowed to use mobile phones or computers or social sites, because those are the things, it's all matter of discussion which goes on. But we have to use internet, we have to use the resources which are available, and we have to use the trend which are going and becoming popular and simple, easy. uh, when I talk about the social sites, I think we all are very familiar about things, and I hope you all are using the different social sites for different purposes. Am I correct? Anybody has input on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Definitely for different purposes we use social sites. Like LinkedIn we use for professional thing and
Can anybody
networking, social
elaborate on
networking.
this, how they are using the social sites differently? Why I'm asking this, because when we talk about the training design, social sites, what I consider is a part of resources which we have basically with everyone, and that resources are almost free to us. Although it is being debated, it is free or it is a costly affair, but from my point of view, it is free, available. So how does it affect, or you feel it is affecting in our normal day-to-day work? Yes, anybody?
Sir, LinkedIn is being used to hire for key positions. Recruitment is being done through LinkedIn.
Organizations do it.
Yeah, organizations are doing it. Even top recruiters who are hiring specially for senior and key positions, LinkedIn is being used extensively.
Okay. How many of you use Facebook?
Yeah, I also use it.
I'm sure we all use Facebook.
We all use everyone Facebook. Is using. So you must make this as a resource, basically. The way, suppose you are using mobile phone or your desktop or laptop, you must use this mobile phone as a resource. In this course also, if you see, when you will move to third semester, you have one paper 9, and that is called Learning and Training Analytics. You remember, has anybody seen?
Yes, sir.
Learning and Training Analytics.
That
paper is compulsory, that is not effective paper or optional paper. In optional paper, you have like paper like change management, talent management, and other things. But this paper 9, Learning and Training Analytics, in which if you see the course content, I'm not sure if you have seen those paper 9 content syllabus is not covered in these 2 books what I have shown you. Do you remember? Do you connect?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Yeah.
So those paper 9 is basically talk about the learning and training analytics, and there it basically mainly discusses about how the training requirements are changing because of the Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn accounts, these social sites. So there they basically try to do those analysis. They have given as a content some papers, and that is what is included in this. So whenever you as a trainer, you operate, suppose social sites like Facebook, Twitter, first you should be little active on this. You should be joining people, right kind of people. You must join your interest area which you are working on, and then at the same time you must have the capacity or analytical capacity. Analytical capacity means you should be able to analyze what I suppose post at times, or what somebody posts and how it moves, because that is what basically decides about the way society grows, the way organization grows, the way people grow, right? So it gives you a lot of updated information. Initially, suppose 10 years back or 12 years back, when it all started, basically the Facebook suppose started and Twitter subsequently started. When I used to talk about and tell people you must do Facebook and Twitter, they used to say it is of no use. And even now, a lot of people will try to claim there is no use. I fully agree. For some person, for some professionals, there may be of not much use. But as a trainer, as a manager, as a senior person, if you try to analyze, you must observe these resources which are there. And today it makes a difference, because if you see, even during election, whether it is a USA election which is going on in a very fervent manner, or Indian election, even our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he has a Facebook update, he has a Twitter update, and every information basically he updates on Facebook and Twitter before it comes in the news. In news, in TV channels, it may not come as early as he himself updates this on that. And that is the way basically you remain ahead. If you do Twitter, Facebook update, if you see, and you can follow them, and then you will understand, you remain ahead before even the newspaper gives the article next day. Because newspaper or TV channel may suppose keep diverting, keep focusing on different aspects, but when they are using the social sites personally or their account, you will find they give you update firsthand. So it makes sense. And I think anybody can use, even in organization, people can use, but it all depends upon what kind of organization. Anybody has some input in organization, you are using the social sites for some purpose. Yes.
So there are a lot of social sites are used in the social media platform. These days, the bigger companies are looking for any complaints or some appreciations
Who is
from
Atul
people
Gupta
talking about it.
speaking?
Yes,
Huh.
yes, sir.
Tell
So
me.
people are looking into the details, what others as a general public are talking about on the social platform, if they're hashtagging them or by tagging a particular organization. And most of the biggest companies have a social media team that only looks after all of this and get in touch with people.
You are in
to
which
keep-
organization?
I work for Dell Technologies.
Dell.
Yes, sir.
So you are you are in a marketing, or what?
I'm a trainer. I'm a senior training lead for the company, and I train people across Pan India and Asia Pacific, Japan.
Okay, from Delhi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In Dell.
Yes, sir.
So Dell
My
is
office is in Gurgaon.
okay. Dell is one of the, main manufacturer of computer.
Yes, sir.
So one of the main, like HP,
Yes.
IBM, and Dell. What I consider
Yes.
these three are the global level company.
Yes.
If any one of you want to buy computers, I think you must try Dell computers.
I think we are so far the best. Yes.
You are the good one. So you are training there. So I think you have your different social sites, and then your emphasis must be there in this.
Yes, sir. I mean, when it comes to hiring, we also go to Naukri.com. We go to different other websites to find out the right candidates. When it comes to social media, we have presence in all the major social media platforms. So to keep a check that what is that exactly people talking about us, if it is good or if it is bad or neutral. Based on that, we get in touch with people and make their experience from bad to good or to neutral to better.
Okay, that's
This
fine.
really helps in improving our scores all across the world.
So please note, I mean, these social sites, the people reactions are always there and it is easily available.
Yes.
I think Rupesh is also
Yes, sir.
wants to say something. Rupesh,
Yeah, sir. I'm in actually HR and looking
where?
after all HR. Gurgaon. There is a
Gurgaon.
logistic company. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have presence in
But
like
you stay in
Facebook,
Noida,
LinkedIn. No, stay in Vaishali, Ghaziabad.
Vaishali. Okay. So now you are working from home.
No, I mean weekly I go to office. I mean generally for any documentation purpose. Otherwise,
Tell
work
me,
from home.
how do you use social sites?
We have presence on LinkedIn, Facebook, like that. So we
Okay.
use I mean, for recruitment we use LinkedIn generally,
Right.
and Facebook just to take feedback about companies, culture, policies, and all of these kind of things. We take feedbacks from
Right.
Facebook.
Feedback from the, I mean, connecting with the common people.
Common people, right?
Common
Right,
people.
sir.
I think it gives
Yeah,
very easy access. Now,
yeah.
Sisir is also, I think, unmute.
Yes, thank
Sisir,
you.
will you
Yes,
like to tell something?
yes, thank you, sir. So I now currently work in a not-for-profit organization, but in my previous,
I think if you can switch on your video also, if you want.
let me try because of poor connectivity. There is
Otherwise, you tell me.
no, yeah, good. So I used to work in Standard Chartered Bank for a fairly long time, and there we had this concept. I'm sure most of the organizations have this concept of, we had something called a net promoter score. I think this is what Atul was also referring to. And the net promoter score for service organizations is a very integral and critical tool to measure the performance of these organizations. How are these organizations perceived by public? And they increasingly have started using all these social media handles or the various, reviews, inputs they get from these social media handles, because people tend to be very, very honest on their views on these handles, like Twitter handles or other sources like Facebook or YouTube. So the
Okay.
reviews, and they help them to put these NPS scores together, and that's how they measure. And the NPS score then further is drilled down to teams at team level. So so example, various business lines will have independent net promoter scores, and that's how the performance of those teams is being measured. It is now being integrated as a part of the performance appraisals as well. So that's a
Right.
very, very nice way to use social media.
Right. That's fine. Thank you for your input. I think those changes we must observe, and accordingly, even in organization, we can use use the reference of those changes. Now, coming to the methods of training need assessments, it's a group or organizational analysis. How do we do training need assessments? Training need analysis and assessments are almost on similar line. Analysis we do along with the assessments, and in assessments we generally focus on group or organizational analysis. That is, we focus on organizational goal and objectives. Then we focus on efficiency indices, customer survey, and then accordingly we decide about the training. And as far as the individual analysis is concerned, as we talked earlier, performance appraisal, interview, questionnaires, and then critical situations. And there we generally focus on attitude, how the person reacts in a different situations. So that is the way we assess the training needs for the organization. Right? Now for the training need analysis or training need assessments, both are almost similar. So what are the data collection methods? Data collection methods are questionnaires, interviews, observation. Then we have 360-degree feedback performance review. Then we can have a group discussion where the participants can participate and have the discussion. We can go through the diaries, what the people write about, suppose daily routine or something, and then activities. From there we can make out what are the training needs, and then read technical manual and records. Invariably these are the ways, but there could be so many other ways we can decide about. And as far as the questionnaire and interviews are concerned, there we can decide about the different kind of questions and different kind of question we are putting to the employee, so that we are able to understand the training need in the present circumstances. Right? Any question here? Anybody? Like even in interviews, when we conduct, we must focus on or prepare the question well in advance, so that we know who all are involved, they are doing what kind of job, and what are the scope of improving the productivity, improving efficiency, improving their work culture and work environment, and all those things. And this is the way we collect data, so that we can go ahead with analysis part.
Verma sir.
Yes.
Go back, please. Previous slide, please.
Yeah.
Here the data collection methods, as you said, questionnaire, interviews, observation, 360 degree. What about diaries? What about diaries? How we collect?
You see, diaries are also being maintained in some of, suppose you want to do training analysis for some department, that is suppose operational, or that is a sales department. So in sales department or in operational department, when we talk about, you see, we maintain a diary. We maintain a diary means particular day this happened, in his shift or in her shift, this is what happened. So if diaries are maintained, that also can be taken as data.
As you can daily logbook, where we record.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we call it daily report actually, shift-wise daily report or daily report.
Daily report, whatever way. Actually, you see, in organization, it may happen, we can have these data. Suppose there is a organization is working in shift, so they can have the log kind of thing. Suppose they are not working in shift, they have the normal duties, but they maintain some kind of diary in which they enlist the activities what they undertake, and whoever takes. So that diary or logbook or document can be taken as a data collection.
Sorry, could you please dial it on 360 degree feedback performance review? Hello, 360 degree. Yeah, please.
You see, feedback performance review in organization could be of any kind. I mean, from the juniors to senior to junior. So we must work on that. Also should be considered as a data collection input from 360 degree, from both sides. It can, from any side basically, feedback can come. Suppose you go in any department, in suppose sales department or ops department, different department also can be involved to get some feedback about the performance of the particular department. So that kind of thing.
So 360 really means what? 360 here in this context, 360 really means what?
Sir, can I elaborate?
Yeah, please.
Sir, 360 in some organizations, particularly for the senior positions,
who is
the
speaking?
feedback of Sudeep Jaiswal, sir.
Can you
Performance feed. Yeah. performance feedback is taken not only from the seniors but also from the juniors, peers, and the other stakeholders who are or customers, you can say. So it is from four angles: the senior, the junior, the peer group, as well as the customers. So it is a holistic feedback. Based on that, the person's performance is rated. And
Absolutely.
it's
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else?
Sir, Jitendra here.
Uh-huh.
Actually, whatever we just face this 360-degree feedback performance for the managers,
It's
and
a
we did
Jitendra?
it. Yeah, Jitendra Kesharwani.
Kesharwani, please go ahead.
Yeah. So whatever we did for the managers, we did for two-sided, like SSE and SSR. What the SSE thinks about 360-degree feedback performance about their managers, and what the SSR they think about the performance, what they have delivered. So this is two-sided, the reportee and the manager. The reportee and the manager.
That is the simple what I talked about, but 360 could
Sir,
be
can I add
different
something?
departments and
Yeah.
even customers can be used as feedback.
Sir, can I add something?
Yes, please.
Here, like as rightly mentioned by all of the members,
Sriya is
I would
online.
just. Hello, yes, sir.
Sriya is online.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. You can switch on your video also if you want.
Sir, the network is very poor, so
please go ahead.
Like to go with this. So, sir, here just I want to add one more thing. When it comes to 360-degree feedback performance, there is a performance given by the person itself also. So it is called, say, for example, if I want to understand how a product is performing or how a particular, say, department is performing. So this performance is taken into consideration with the person who is performing, as well as the juniors and seniors, everybody, as well as all the stakeholders, and as well as a person himself also. So self-assessment is also there. So it is from all sides, from every angle. It is the performance feedback is taken, and then the company comes to one particular decision making that could be taken as a data which can be worked on future, so that how the development has to be done. So it can be in terms of launch plan, it can be in terms of any activity.
Absolutely fine. Thank you, Sriya.
So
Is it clear or anybody else?
Thank you.
Any other
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir, it is very clear.
Right. So moving to from data collection, we move to the next one, and different steps we talk about training need assessment process, and it all starts from identify problem needs and then decide about the design of needs analysis. So identify problem. I mean, for any training, basically, I mean, if you see, we talk about training or we talk about anything planning like this, we have to identify problems, and then only we can talk about what are the solutions and how we can do things. So overall, we have to. I mean, these are the 6 steps. We move on as far as the training need assessment process is concerned, and it starts from the identify problem needs, and then determine design of need analysis, then collect data, analyze data, then provide feedback, and develop finally action plan. What is the way training is to be designed and delivered? So all those things has to be designed in the training need assessment process. So this is the way we do things, steps. So anybody who wants, who is basically involved in the training need analysis or training need assessments, we call it training agency, and they start with basically communicating with the funding agency. So they have these kind of functions in the place. So they will talk about the first funding agency. They will then communicate with the nominating organization. One thing, 1 minute. Then communicating with the nominating organization, and then getting together the training team. So all these steps we need to go through by the training agency, providing appropriate environment to participants, then coordinating professional and administrative input, following up with nominating organization. You see, any training, what we start with, it all should start from the funding agency, then nominating organization, who nominate the people for the training, and then working on training team so that we can impart training, and then providing appropriate environment to participants, and then coordinating professional and administrative inputs. So there should not be any confusion between the nominating organization or funding agency, and then following up with the nominating organization for participants as well as their input, so that we can impart training. So key functions of training agencies are like this. You see, what we are basically talking here is different steps what we take in the training planning, what we do, right? So now that comes next, the nominating organization. So nominating organization also has some responsibility, and these are basically, we are talking about, these define those activities. So you as a trainer, suppose you are involved in training for any training, I mean starting from suppose training need analysis to design part, you can understand these are the organization and these are the department which works basically. So what are the responsibility of the nominating organization? It's an identification of training needs, that is the pre-training, and then selection of participants, then communicating its expectations from the program, and then monitoring the progress of the participants, and then transfer of training to the field, post-training. So starting from pre-training to post-training, those are the responsibility of the nominating organization. And they must make sure they are coordinating with the training agency and funding agency so that they can do the training successfully, and they achieve what they want. Transfer of training to the field means they become productive and they achieve whatever they want, right? So once we do this TNA part, training need analysis part, I think now we should try to find out the definitions of instructional design. So as I said in the beginning, training need analysis or assessments was there in the field, but the need for instructional design emerged because things have changed. And this instructional design was defined like this: is a practice of systematically designing, developing, delivering instructional products and experiences, both digital and physical, in a consistent and reliable fashion towards an efficient, effective, appealing, engaging, and inspiring acquisition of knowledge. So what I understand, instructional design or instructional system design, both are same, and both emerged because of the need for both digital and physical. That is what the experience we are talking about. So we talk about the design part. Right? It is common to use the term instructional design, instructional technology, learning experience design, and instructional system design interchangeably. So you see, all these terms basically are used for this paper called paper 2, instructional design. It could be like instructional design, instructional technology, learning experience design, and instructional system design. So suppose in your exam also or in your assignment also, question comes, you should not be confused and you must relate with training need analysis to training need assessments and then further move to design part, right? So instructional design is the process by which learning resources and experiences are developed, created, and delivered. Instructional system design is the system development of an educational program. So you see, it all started with learning resources and experiences. So you must try to design system in which you really get good learning resources and good learning experiences. Am I right? Anybody has any question in this? Are you there? Hello?
Yes, sir. No questions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No question.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
So far, so good, sir.
Instructional design, I'm trying to define, taken out, did research and found out these are the kind of definition which has been given for this. And this makes sense basically when we try to use the resources properly for designing our training needs, right? Instructional design, if you continue, even though instructional design is historically and traditionally rooted in cognitive and behavioral psychology and goes back to 1950s, constructivism and system engineering have more recently influenced developments in this field. You see, this was defined sometime back in 1950s, but today it has been included in this new syllabus. It's because the need has emerged now. I mean, this has never happened earlier, like mobile phone or smartphones are available to all of us. It has never happened that we are organizing online classes. I mean, we were very happy in having the normal, class, conventional one. But now things have changed. So accordingly, if you see the complete design part of imparting training also have to get reform and change. So now the instructional design, this topic has come become essential part of basically the course curriculum for this PG diploma program in training and development. So you must take this into cognizance, right? The most current branch of instructional design focuses on how to integrate technology, the internet, and human computer interaction in state of the art methods of designing and delivering education. And in most of the online classes, if you see those part in last 6 months or work from home also or online classes, we have tried to resolve most of the things. And fortunately, I think technology has helped us to resolve those things. And those are the great thing which has happened with us. It is important to understand that learning resources include online courses, instructional manuals, video simulation, and any other format in which education takes place. So you as a trainer, I mean, it is very important for you to understand that this is basically human computer interaction in state of the art methods of designing and delivering education. So, right? Hello, any question?
Oh, sir.
Like earlier also, I mean, if you see, there was not much need to integrate technology per se. Even in the papers 7 and 8, what earlier syllabus we had a e-learning thing. So there basically we talked about, suppose CBT or WBT. Have you heard about CBT, WBT? Computer based training and web based training.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So there, if you see, in computer based training and web based training, things were little different, and it was not very important to integrate a lot of things. But today, when all of us have our smartphone with us, and even while moving, we want to use those smartphone and mobile phone for our training purposes. And even when we plan, suppose design some instructional content, so we have to take those things into account, right? Mr. Ashok ji is there. Unmute. You want to say something?
Are you I'm Ashok Panda. I don't know if there is any other Ashok.
Ashok Panda?
Yeah.
You have registered two name. Ashok Kumar Panda is coming separately. Ashok is coming separately.
I don't know.
I have no idea. Please go ahead. Can you switch on your video as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
हाँ, अशोक जी अब बताएं.
Frankly
आपका वीडियो गायब हो गया?
Gap हो गया, okay. Oh God. Yeah.
हाँ, आ गया.
Now is it okay?
Now it is okay.
Yeah, fine. Mr. Verma, for the last 3 years, I was the chairman of the Bhubaneswar ISTD.
Absolutely fine. Great.
Yeah, and I also do a lot of training program for NTPC, NALCO, and Steel Authority of India Limited. Also, I do a lot of training program. But since my term was over, I thought, why not take up this course and enjoy it? And believe me, I'm really enjoying it also.
Ashok ji, I really welcome you here.
Though I'm 70 years old now, but even then, I thought I should learn something new.
So nice. I think the complete 83 batch is basically privileged. You are here.
Right. I'm enjoying it.
Can you tell us about this instructional design, integrate technology, and how this need have emerged?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, what was really happening is, earlier, the best thing what I've learned of this is integrating both the technology, the internet, and the human mind. Here you have put human computer, but I would say the human mind. I would say the human mind. And when we, combine all the three, we come to the state of art where, we'll be able to deliver and design in a very, in a holistic manner what is really happening in training. I think that is what I have learned here.
Absolutely fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ashok ji, and I hope we keep having your presence.
Yeah, right.
In the next class also, and
yeah,
go ahead.
Thank you.
So we talk about instructional design. There is a fair amount of critical thinking that needs to happen before you can successfully launch a training project. Right. Otherwise, you can run the risk of missing your target and wasting precious time and money. An instructional design strategy is, in fact, a high-level approach of how
a little intervention, please. Now, for example, when we talk of critical thinking in one line, how would we define that? Critical thinking in one line. How would we define that? Critical
right.
Yeah.
So anybody can give some input how we can define critical thinking?
Could be related to something where we are going into all the aspect, and it is more related to similar to design thinking, because we are looking forward to all the aspects, and then we are designing the training program, understanding the need and analysis.
Okay.
Not very clear.
Not very clear. Anything? Anybody else? Soumya?
So for design,
Sir, it's more related to objective analysis, that what we actually want, and then designing the stuff related, or you can say based on the analysis, so that our objective can be achieved in a
Soumya, can you switch on your video?
way. Sir, there is some network connectivity. It's Sunday today.
Okay, please go ahead.
So I would say it is more like objective analysis, so that something can be designed to attain the result in an optimum way, I would say. So that would be critical thinking is mostly more associated to.
So what I feel that critical thinking is taking the holistic picture, whether you're designing the particular training. So are we on the right direction? If something doesn't goes well, then what would be the repercussions of that? So we make all the plans in advance.
Okay.
Now let me tell what I
Sir,
understand.
Sir,
Yeah.
just give me 30
now,
seconds.
Friends,
critical thinking is like out of box thinking to make a judgment, actually.
To make a judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's out of box thinking to have.
Now, you see, for example, somebody just now said objective thinking. Now, friends, now just I would like to differentiate between subjective thinking and objective thinking. Subjective thinking is telling something what you think per se, what you think yourself. And objective thinking is based on facts and figures. You get my point? So do you mean to say by objective thinking that it is related to facts and figures?
Yes, sir. Objective analysis is knowing that what
carry on
else can happen and what should else be done, so that we get a best possible path to attain the goal. That is critical thinking all about.
So, okay. Based on facts and figures.
So the critical thinking is form a judgment based on facts and figures. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you so much. We can move ahead now.
Thank you. So,
thank you.
Critical thinking we need to do before we waste time and money, resist money, time and money, right? So instructional design strategy, in fact, a high level approach of how something will be taught. From the conventional way in training need analysis, TNA, we were going ahead. But when we want to integrate with the existing resources, with the future requirements, as I said in the beginning, suppose the children who are going through today in a school online classes, after 6 years or 7 years, when they come to organization, they will be the different person altogether. So we have to work on those line, and for that we need a critical thinking basically. So we can assimilate those information and plan accordingly, right?
Right.
So instructional design, basically it all came from for the online training, and online training was what we are now conducting basically. Even though some of the disadvantages have been talked about in this your book, and that is what is listed here. Because in essential, the design your resources in a way that it overcomes the trainer's absence. So, we have to design like this. Then online training need to be efficient. It makes easy to learn and bring it to our day-to-day lives. Even we talk about the CBT, computer-based training or web-based training, or even the online course. It all started with, you see, you have all video available, audio available, you have the PowerPoint presentation available. So all those become very handy tool basically to learn faster and learn consistently. Online learning needs to be engaging and experience for your audience, because it is a different kind, and once we see the audio or video at the comfort of our home, we can certainly do things better. So online learner have to work hard, certainly to initially, I mean, we have seen how the people face problem like audio is not connected, video is not connected. But once we are able to handle this, it becomes very easy to manage. Right?
Fine, fine.
So earlier we talked about the data collection, different ways, and then steps for the training need assessments. You must have heard about the AD model also, and same AD model we may use for instructional design model also. And we in AD model we have this 5 phases by which we can do instructional design, and it starts from analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. And in all 6 classes, we will try to cover this one by one. So today part was like analysis part, and then we move to design, and then we talk about the training development, and then implementation, and then finally we will do with evaluation. So AD model you must have heard about, and the same thing you must have heard about earlier also in courses.
Yeah, right.
And the same we are using in this instructional design as well. Right?
Yeah, right.
We'll discuss this in next class also, and further. But finally, to conclude, I would like to say instructional design is a very important part of training and development, and we all must focus this paper as a very important paper. And because in fast changing environment, this gives you the clue basically to manage with the present resources and future perspectives. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Any question?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody has
Thank you very much, sir.
any question? Please shoot for 2 minutes. We are here. 2 more minutes before I close. Ashok ji, anything?
Yeah, no, I loved it. I really enjoyed it to what you said. All I would just like to tell is, now you see, earlier we used to tell, now we are telling because of the pandemic, we should go online and all. But I would say the best thing, as you will definitely appreciate, is blending of both, physical and also the Zoom method of doing things. But I think days are coming soon where, we can do both. Like, for example, the training what we are having out here, maybe after 2-3 months, again, there might be some physical contact classes also. So let's look forward for that also.
Okay. Anybody else has any point? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for attending this.
Thank you.
Paper
Thank
two.
you, sir. Thank you. It was very
you.
nice.
Now,
So
next
if I'm-
class will be starting at
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, paper 3.
Yeah. So if I may have
Thank
your
you very
permission, I would just like to say to all the members in this group, I have sent a message in the chat section. Please read through it, and you
Atul, can you please
be part-
resend that chat message?
I have done that just now, and people can be part of this WhatsApp group so that we can chat amongst ourselves. It is in the chat. You can see there's also an invite for the WhatsApp group.
You have sent already?
Yes, I have sent it in the chat. So it is a request to people, those who are interested to be, can be part of this particular WhatsApp group.
What is that WhatsApp group?
It is,
So it's not
it is for
actually
all of
available.
us.
Yeah, right.
It is for all of us to chat with one another, talk about assignments, exams, etc. share
Can you please
information amongst
resend it
ourselves.
right now
Okay,
again?
I'm doing it right now
Yeah,
again.
please send it now because
Yes, sir. It is actually not available. So
yeah, please tell the number so that we can send you number.
I have sent by clicking. If you go to whatsappweb.com, then just by clicking on this link, it will add you to the group.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Good enough.
I've
Good
sent
enough.
it. I hope everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Atul, is
Absolutely.
it business WhatsApp?
No, it is our personal group so that we can discuss things.
Yeah, discuss among ourselves. That's right.
Because that is a one-way group. We cannot post anything in the group. So this is one I have created, and a lot of people have joined. Around 10 people have joined
Acha,
so far.
no, we can also reply. Also, no, we can't reply.
You can reply.
Yeah.
You are free to write whatever you want to in this group
Fine. Good.
regarding the diploma. Yes.
Absolutely. Very nice.
Thank you,
so much.
Mr. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
so
you,
much.
sir.
Grateful.
And
Thank you.
please save this link